The police arrive at the scene, along with Detective Burrows. Detective Burrows asks Melanie if she saw anyone suspicious, but she didn't. But she knows who might have done it. Melanie believes that it was Jace, the basketball player from the Ocelots. Unfortunately, there was no evidence pointing to this. Kendra knew someone from the repair shop who could fix Melanie's car, and Taylor offers to pay for an Uber to take Melanie home. Melanie asks her fiancé Kyle about what happened at the park, and she still thinks that it was Jace who did it. Kyle believes that it was some kids playing a prank. Melanie wakes up the next morning and gets a whole bunch of texts from Jace. Melanie tries to ignore the texts and continues on to work. While training Charlie again, Melanie goes for a short bathroom break. While she is in the stall, the lights suddenly turn off, and the stall door was jammed shut. Melanie is starting to panic, and that's when Charlie opens the stall and asks Melanie if she was all right. The two continue on with their workout afterwards. Melanie heads to her car, which had its repairs done. When she is inside, that same woman from the park taps on her side window. Melanie recognizes her as the waitress from the restaurant, who briefly showed up to her table to pour water for her and Kyle. The woman introduces herself as Candace, and warns Melanie that she's not safe. Melanie asks why, but Candace says that she can't talk about it at the recreational center. Candace then gives her a sticky note with her phone number, and tells Melanie to meet her at the Broken Eggshell Cafe tomorrow at 1 p.m. to explain everything. Unfortunately, it looks like Jace had been watching their conversation from his car. Later that day, Melanie returns home to see that Jace was there, waiting for her on the dining table. Jace gifted Melanie a t-shirt with the Ocelots logo on it, but Melanie declines the shirt and asks Jace if she and Kyle could have some alone time to talk. When Jace is outside of the home, he rips the t-shirt apart and stomps on it. Melanie tells Kyle that Jace is being too invasive of her private life and inconsiderate of the fact that she is already engaged. Kyle thinks that Jace is just trying to be nice and appreciative, but Melanie says that Kyle is not listening to her. That night, Candace is at the restaurant she works at during its closing hours when the lights suddenly turn off in the dining area and she hears a noise coming from the kitchen. When she goes to check, and someone runs by her from behind, Candace doesn't see anything in the kitchen and goes back to the dining area. A hooded figure then comes from behind and bludgeons Candace to death multiple times with a basketball, and then drags her body away. The next day, Melanie is waiting for Candace at the Broken Eggshell Cafe. Melanie then checks her phone to see that it is 1:40, and she still hasn't shown up. She tries to call Candace, but it goes to voicemail. Melanie finally comes to the conclusion that Candace was playing her, and leaves. When Melanie returns to Cooper's Courts, there was a surprise waiting for her. On her desk was dozens of flowers, chocolates, balloons, and a teddy bear with a note next to it. The note said, "What more can I do to show my love and appreciation for you? You will always be my special person. Love, Jace." Melanie has finally had enough, and goes to the police station to try and file a restraining order against Jace. But the cops and Detective Burrows weren't any help. Burrows explained to Melanie that a restraining order could not be filed due to the accused, Jace, not doing anything violent.